Hello guys, how are you doing? I hope you're doing great. This is Teacher Smile and welcome to our today's lesson grade 8 where we are going to talk about equations. What are equations? Equations are simply problems. We already know about this because we've been talking about them a lot of times in our lives. For example, you were asked like a question, what is 6 plus 4? Did you ever hear that question? What is 6 plus 4? Yeah, you know that it's 10. We can write it mathematically. 6 plus 4 is equal to what? We can represent what we talked about here this way. But we need also to remember that in maths, when we don't know, when we are talking about unknown, we use the letters of alphabet. So now we can say 6 plus 4 is equal to x. We can use a letter and then we now say, okay, let me teach you a little something here. These 3 dots, they mean therefore. It means after what we've discussed, so it means therefore our x is equal to 6 plus 4 and is equal to 10. Yes. Right? So that's very important for us to know this in mathematics. So when we don't know, we use letters of alphabet. But we may ask these questions in different ways. In this case, we didn't know the answer to 6 plus 4. But sometimes we don't know what we should add to 5 to get 10. Or sometimes we don't know what number we should subtract 5 from to get 10. Yes, it seems easy when it is like this. We know that we need a number to add that number here to get 10. Which number should we say plus 5 and get 10? Yes, you are right, it's 5, but how exactly do we know that by calculation? We could say 5 plus 5 is equal to 10, and here we could say 15 minus 5 is equal to 10. So we are saying which number should we put here in such a way that when we are saying plus 5 to that number, I'm going to get 10. That's what we are dealing with, and that's what we're talking about here. So listen up. Solving equations, we need to make sure that whatever we do to the left-hand side is also supposed to be done to the right-hand side, right? Left-hand side is equal to right-hand side. This is a very important concept in mathematics. So what I do to the left-hand side of the equal sign should also be done to the right-hand side of the equal sign. But in the process of solving, you have to make sure that you isolate what you don't know. You isolate the unknown. It should stand by itself. In this case, our x should stand by itself. Now, how do we remove this from this side to the other side? Remember, where there is addition, we remove by subtraction. Where there is subtraction, we remove by addition. So this is addition. So it means that we can subtract 5. And since we have a rule that says left-hand side is equal to right-hand side, what we do to the left-hand side should also be done to the right-hand side. So we are going to have x this side. 5 plus 5 minus 5, this is going to go away, right? Is equal to 10 minus 5, we get 5. Did you just see that? We have solved our equation. That's our x is 5. So we are saying 5 plus 5 is equal to 10. Okay, let's move on to the next question. If I am given this, x minus 5 is equal to 10, there is a minus 5 here. There is a minus, there is subtraction. When there is subtraction, we remove that by addition. So it means I need to add 5 so that this minus 5 can be removed by its inverse. This is the inverse of negative 5. This is the inverse of positive 5. So when we come here, we also do it to the right-hand side because the left-hand side is equal to right-hand side. Now, x is equals to minus 5 plus 5. This is going to go away again. So we are going to be left with 15. Look, we have just solved our equation again. But guys, there is a way to do all this without thinking about this that much. Let me write all here, which means you can use this method, which is x plus 5 is equals to 10. When I see that the sign here is plus, so I can take this and put it to the other side. So x is going to be left alone and 10 is already here. What's coming? This 5. The moment it crosses an equal sign, the sign here changes. It changes to minus. Now it's minus 5. So x is equal to 10 minus 5 and the answer is 5. So you see we got the same answer that way. Okay, let's try it again on this one. It was x minus 5 is equal to 10. But we can see that it's joined by a plus or a minus. So we can simply take this to the other side because it's minus, it's going to be plus to the other side. X is equal to, check if it really crossed the equal sign. Yes, it crossed, but first write whatever is here. And then this one comes, it becomes plus 5. And now our x is equal to 15. Do you get that? Okay, let me just add another example here so that you get it. X plus 10 is equal to 5. Look, what should we do? This, we don't want it this side because we need to isolate our x. Our x has to stand by itself. So we take this to the other side. When we take it to the other side, we have x is equal to 5 minus 10, and our x is equal to 5 minus 10 is minus 5. So we get our answers that way. That's very important, and you are going to see that whatever we have talked about in this slide, we are going to also use it in some other questions. So let's move on. How about here? What do we do? Now we have something like this. It's multiplication. It means that we need to divide, right? When it is multiplication or it looks like this, we have to divide. So look, it looks exactly like that, but it's only that here there's a 2. So we need to divide, because if you try to take this 2 to the other side, like what we were doing here, taking this 5 to the other side, if we try it here, this x is going to follow because they are attached together. This bond is so strong, they are joined together. So when you take 2 to the other side, this x is going to follow too. So it's not a good idea to take 2 to the other side. So we need to separate them by force. And we only separate them by force this way. We divide both sides by 2. Okay, we divide, I was supposed to write here, divide both sides by 2. By 2. Divide both sides by 2. Here I divide by 2 because this is the thing that I don't want. This is the number that I don't want. So I need to divide both sides so that it goes away. So I cancel here, I cancel here. You see that my x is now standing by itself. What is 4 divided by 2? The answer is 2. Okay, let's try that again with another question. If I was given something like 3x is equals to 7. I took this deliberately. What do we do? Can we take 3 to the other side? No, you are right, we cannot do that. Therefore, the only way is to separate this by force, because the moment I try to take this to the other side, we are going to have a problem because the x is attached to it. They are very strong together. So I need to separate them by force. So we divide both sides by what? By 3. We always divide by the number attached to x, this number. So we are saying 3x divided by 3 is equals to 7 divided by 3. Divide both sides by 3. Then this 3 goes away. Then our x is going to be equal to 2,3333. So I'm rounding off to 2 decimal places. When I am given this, now I'm given all the things we talked about. There is a plus and there is this part. So what do? Make sure that you isolate. And in isolation, start by removing all loose terms that you have. This is a loose term. It has nothing to do with x. So let's take it to the other side. If we take it to the other side, this side we are only going to be left with x. 2x is equal to, here we have 7. But remember the plus 1 is coming, and when it crosses the equal sign, it becomes what? Minus 1. So 2x is equal to 7 minus 1 is 6. Now we are here, we come to this point again. What do? Divide both sides. Divide both sides by 2. Okay, that's 2x divided by 2 is equals to 6 divided by 2. And this side we are going to be, it implies that this side we are going to be left with x is equal to 6 divided by 2 is 3. Problem solved. Let's move on to the next question. Now we are given something like this. What do? Well, you could even say that this time around the number here is half. Divide both sides by half. Well, that's very true. You can do that. But it's going to be a bit complicated than using this. Now we have a fraction. When we have a fraction, multiply, right? When you have a fraction, multiply. So here I have a fraction. I need to multiply by this. Half x multiply by whatever is in the denominator. Multiply by 2 is equals to 3. But what happens to the left-hand side should happen to the right-hand side. So I should also multiply by 2. Oh my God. Sorry for that. Okay. So I should also multiply this side by 2. So this 2 is going to cancel that 2 because this is a 2 over 1. So it's going to cancel. We are going to be left with 1x. But 1x, you and I know that the answer is simply going to be x is equal to 3 times 2, 6. We have solved our equation. Let's move on to the next part. If I am given this, again, what do?